Well, this crap needs to stop. Let's begin. And no, before anyone says anything, I am not talking about my YouTube videos. I am talking about quite a worrying situation which, let's face it, more and more of us are going to be faced with every day for as long as this woke explosion nightmare is going to go on for. And apparently, according to this article, a 90-year-old pensioner has been sacked from volunteering. Remember, volunteering, so presumably she weren't paid for this, for a charity she helped for almost for the past 60 years. Because, wait for it, was she stealing from the till? No. Did she tell a customer to F off or something like that? No. So what was she sacked for? Apparently her massive crime was she was sacked because she asked what pronouns meant. I mean, how ridiculous is that? And surely it just goes to show, doesn't it, that unfortunately there are quite a lot of companies out there who presumably treat their employees as numbers rather than people. And apparently it goes on and says bewildered Fran Idkoff, who pronounced that right, was shown a door when she innocently asked what it meant when another worker at the National Multiple Sclerosis, the MS Society, asked her to use her preferred pronouns. And after an email exchange, the confused Norwegian was told her services were no longer needed, despite, of course, Fran giving her time for free to the charity for more than 6 decades. So what they got to say about it again? I mean, are they going to apologise? No, unfortunately not. Says a statement from the Multiple Sclerosis Society said Mrs. Itkoff was asked to step away from her role because of statements that were viewed as not aligning with our policy of inclusion. Oh my God, this is just going nuts, isn't it? How about valuing the free service that Fran actually gave to your company and thanking her rather than kicking her out the door? It's just absolutely disgraceful in my eyes. It does say, though, however, the charity added it has now reaching out to the pensioner. I wonder why after it's gone into a newspaper, eh? But surely at the end of the day, in my opinion, no one should ever be sacked from a job for asking a question about something to do with their job. I mean, in this case, it was about pronouns, which I'm guessing this whole woke world of 2024 no doubt would be to address a customer. So therefore, you'd like to think, rather than go on to crack a walnut with a lamp hammer approach, the company would just explain the situation to Fran and let her get on with her daily job. Happy, I'm guessing. But no, they presumably took offence. Oh, how dare she ask such a question? When, let's face it, it's only about, 2% of the country that this actually affects. And therefore, that is not the majority of people out there, is it? And presumably, no one's going to complain about someone asking a question, so it just seems like this company has just took the decision by themselves to get ultra offended for how dare she ask such a question, I'm guessing, and just sacked her because of it. Now, it does say Mrs. Itkoff from California, USA, said she was unsure why she had been asked to use certain pronouns. She said, I was a bit confused, and you'd expect that a little bit, wouldn't you? She said, I was confused, I didn't know what it was and what it meant, because it sounds like you are labelling for females, not males, if you are just putting in she/her. And thankfully, Ellie Hamilton, quite rightly in my opinion, defended her. She's a daughter, and she defended her mother, saying it had been her sole purpose to help the charity. She said, to me it's ironic because they are saying they're inclusive, but they are excluding a 90-year-old disabled woman who has volunteered for 60 years. And literally the sole purpose was to help the MS patients find a cure. That's literally all she does. So yeah, this charity really does need to think about that. I mean, if it is inclusion, then she should not have been forced out, in my opinion, at all. In fact, if anything, she should receive compensation for the way that she was treated by this disgraceful company, in my opinion. And I say that because to me it appears that they weren't thankful for the help she gave them for the past 60 years, and if anything, they're surely hypocrites, in my opinion. And Julie Bindel, the co-founder of the law group Justice for Women, said, what has been done to this woman in the name of progress is one of the sickest examples of this vile movement. That is very true in my opinion. I do think this whole woke brigade crap is just that. People just stop needing to be so sensitive in the modern woke world of 2024 and just need to switch their brains on a bit more, don't they? Especially these sort of companies who basically in this case sacked someone for asking a question. And that's all it was, a question. This is absolutely mental, isn't it? But what have they said about it then? Have they caved in? Well, a statement from the National Multiple Sclerosis Society said Recently, a volunteer, Fran Ikoff, was asked to step away from her role because of statements that were viewed as not aligning with our policy of inclusion. Fran has been a valued member of our volunteer team for more than 60 years, and we believe that our staff acted with the best of intentions and did their best to navigate a challenging issue. And as an organisation, we are in continued conversation about assuring that our diversity, equality and inclusion policies evolve in service of our mission, and will reach out to Fran in service of this goal. Well, if anything, surely the only thing that this company should be doing by reaching out to Fran is to remove their heads from their bums, switch on their brains and say, I'm sorry, Fran. Here's a load of money to say we're sorry. Because let's face it, the only thing that this company should be giving her, apart from her job back, of course, is a load of compensation. And of course, an apology for being absolute buttheads, in my opinion. It does go to show, though, that we are in quite a worrying situation if this thing does indeed spread across the pond to us, and therefore who knows how many times we could be in similar sorts of situations. I mean, I'm guessing we've got different employee laws than what they've got over there, but either way, it does appear that we could all soon be in a situation where quite a lot of companies would be targeting the majority for asking an innocent question about the minority, which I don't know about you, but I think that is quite worrying and very, very shameful.